So this might be the end of an era for RVers. Cracker Barrel, one of the last reliable overnight parking spots, is, well, reportedly saying no more RVs. And if this is true, guys, this is a big deal. And here's why it could affect way more than just your next road trip. Now, there's been some chatter online that Cracker Barrel might be ending free overnight RV parking at their locations. Now, for those of you who might not RV, that might sound like no big deal, but for a lot of us in the RV community out here traveling, whether it's part-time, full-time, or even just on weekends, this is huge news. And honestly, not in a good way. Because when I first heard about this, well, it was more kind of word of mouth with nothing really anything concrete in writing to back it up. So I did some digging for myself, and in just a few minutes, I am going to show you in writing exactly what Cracker Barrel had to say. And this may be a little bit of a spoiler alert. It's not good news. First of all, I do want to share with you, however, that in the past 7 years of RV life and travel, my family and I have personally parked overnight at Cracker Barrel locations dozens of times over the years. So we made it here to the Cracker Barrel at Walterboro, South Carolina. Now, wasn't sure if we were gonna make it this far just because we got a late departure last night, but we did make it. We pulled in about 9 p.m. And it's kind of been one of those unspoken traditions in RV life. I mean, you just pull into a Cracker Barrel after a long day of travel, you park in the back lot, maybe grab dinner, or maybe just hit the hay and grab breakfast inside the next morning to say thank you for a great place to spend the night. I mean, we personally have found Cracker Barrel parking lots safe, easy to access because Cracker Barrels are pretty much always located right off of the highway.
Oh man, I think Mom had too much coffee at Cracker Barrel again.
And it's the perfect overnight stop when you're not looking to set up camp somewhere for a long time.
That was the most interesting Cracker Barrel stay that I've ever had.
I'm ready for coffee, that's for sure.
This has never happened in all of our years of lot docking during trips, but Cracker Barrel's usually one of our favorites because big parking lots, go grab some coffee and breakfast in the morning. It's usually like a good place to overnight. But last night, holy Moses. And unlike a lot of those other overnight RV parking locations, there are no reservations required. Pretty much just count on being able to pull into a Cracker Barrel parking lot no matter what time of day or night and spend the night. Honestly, some of our best memories as a family traveling between destinations have involved simple nights just like that at Cracker Barrel. Pulling in late, going to bed, getting up and eating a great breakfast, and the kids love playing a game of checkers or that little peg game that they put on all of the tables. It's been a great pit stop for all of us, and Alaska included. We could park, grab a hot breakfast inside, and feel good knowing that Alaska, well, he's safe and comfy back in the RV. And speaking of peace of mind, let me show you something that's been a total game changer for moments just like these when we can't bring Alaska with us because, well, you know, no pets allowed inside Cracker Barrel. And that is Netco, which is a compact cellular connected monitor that tracks temperature, humidity, power outages, and there's no Wi-Fi needed. It'll send instant alerts straight to your phone so you know the moment anything goes out of range. Setup takes just minutes, and it works right out of the box. It's plug it in and go. Plus it has a built-in 72-hour backup battery, so you're covered even if there's a power loss. You can set custom thresholds to match your needs, and get this, it comes with 2 years of free cellular service, and there's no monthly subscription required. So it's super affordable. Whether you're a full-timer, weekend warrior, snowbird, you can visit gratefulglamper.com/Netco and save 10% off. Get peace of mind. It's made simple. We'll have that link below. And a huge thanks to Netco for sponsoring this video. Now, let's get back to the Cracker Barrel subject because this is a big deal about free overnight parking. I mean, it's gonna create a domino effect for the RV community if we can't do this anymore. And I'll share more on why a domino effect in just a minute. But first, can we just agree that there are not a ton of safe, reliable places where you can just stop overnight without booking a campground or making a reservation? Now, before you say, wait a minute, Charity, what about all of the great Harvest Host locations where you can stay for free? Now, while Harvest Host can be a great option, remember, you have to make a reservation at these locations first. You can't just show up whenever, and you have to arrive before the business closes. Now, on a travel day for us, the last thing we want is the stress of feeling like we're under a time crunch and that we have to arrive by a certain time or else we won't have a place to stay for the night. And that's why we personally have love Cracker Barrel parking lots a ton. I mean, no reservations, no need to show up by a certain time. You'll just show up whenever, park, and hit the hay. And an overnight at a campground, well, that's not something we're a huge fan of. I mean, campgrounds aren't always convenient when you're just trying to make miles. And sometimes you pull off the road at 8 or 9 p.m. and you just need a safe, legal place to sleep, and you don't need all of the amenities of a campground. I mean, we've stayed at our share of KOA journeys before when we just needed a nice overnight, but now we just don't really want to pay the $50 to $70 price tag just to hook up to some power dump tanks and sleep for the night. So Cracker Barrel really filled that gap for us and for thousands of other RVers across the country. Losing this option is going to mean more crowding at the few places still left. There are fewer and fewer Walmart lots available for overnight RV parking, and RV parking overnight is already being restricted more and more at Walmarts across the country, Cabela's lots, and then rest areas and truck stops. And this is why it's really bad if this is a domino effect, because of the impact that it could have on truckers. If RVers have nowhere to go, many will end up taking space at truck stops and rest areas. But those truck stops, like your Pilots, Flying J, Loves, and those highway rest areas are really primarily meant for truckers. And you have to remember, these truckers, well, they're the reason we have groceries on the shelves and gas at the pumps and supplies when we need them. They're working a lot, and they have hours of service that they legally have to follow. And that means if they can't find a spot to park because an RV is taking a space that really should be reserved for a trucker, well, it's not just an inconvenience. It could literally affect their ability to work safely and legally. And we as RVers don't want to be those people that make life harder for truckers. So here's the bad news. I personally jumped onto the Cracker Barrel website and got on their chat with a live agent, not a bot, but I actually went through the steps to get a live agent, and what they said, well, it was pretty shocking. And what I actually kind of expected to hear was maybe something like RV parking's being restricted on a case-by-case basis and on a store-by-store basis, similar to what Walmart has done. But that's not what they said. The agent flat out told me overnight parking is not allowed. So the rumors in this case are true. Cracker Barrel did stop allowing overnight RV parking, and this is not good, guys. It's really gonna hurt the RV community, and it could ripple out and hurt truckers, supply chain. I mean, really anyone relying on these goods to get where they need to go. So at the end of the day, really, like, I don't know, for me personally, and these are my thoughts and opinions, you can leave yours in the comments below. It's really more about respect in community. So I would encourage anyone in the RV community, make sure we're staying aware of these changes and be respectful about where you park overnight. And then here's my plan personally. I still plan on trying, but I'm going to do so by making a phone call in advance and asking permission. And you can see why so many of these places are starting to make rules like this. And that is for those that are just kind of bad actors in this space. And let's just say these bad actors, well, they're ruining it for the rest of us. And maybe, just maybe, if enough of us reach out and we're respectful and we let places like Cracker Barrel know that we are not these bad actors and how much the service has really meant to us, well, maybe they'll reconsider or find a way to keep some overnight options open for us. And speaking of which, we have a great video on how and why that these bad actors, well, they could just be the cause of these new rules. And you can learn all about that right up here.